main objective of this program is to read n student marks in a test and then calculate average marks of first class students, second class students and third class students. In order to call a student as first class student, he should get a minimum of 60 in every test, in a test. Similarly, if his marks are in between 50 to 59 including, then he will be considered as second class student. If his marks are in between 35 to 49 including, then he will be considered as third class student. Otherwise, he will be considered as failed student. In this program, we are interested to find out average marks of first class students, second class students and third class students. As usual, stdio.h is included, main is declared. The variables I, n, m, n1, n2, n3, s1, s2, s3 are declared. The values of the variables n1, n2, n3, s1, s2, s3 are initialized to zeros. The variables I and n are used to control the loop. That is, here we propose to write a while loop which will run exactly for n times. These two variables will control the behavior of the while loop such that it will run exactly n times. The variable m is used to read a student mark each time in the while loop. The variables n1, n2, n3 are used to store number of first class students, second class students and third class students. Whereas the variables s1, s2, s3 are used to store sum of the first class students, sum of the second class students and sum of the third class students. The following printf statement is a user interface statement which will allow the user to enter a integer, that is number of students. The scanf statement reads this number whatever user enters into the variable n. As usual, while loop is written such that it will run for n times. We have already mentioned many times how a while loop runs for n times. If I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus are used as the control statements for the while loop. The main theme of this program is as follows. Each time one student mark will be read. If his marks is greater than or equal to 60, then n1 is incremented by 1, then his marks will be added to s1. Otherwise, if his marks are greater than or equal to 50, then n2 will be incremented by 1 and his marks m will be added to s2. Else, if his marks will be greater than or equal to 35, then n3 value will be incremented by 1 and his marks will be added to s3. Thus, once we will come out from the while loop, S1, S2, S3 contains total marks of the first class students, second class students and third class students, and N1, N2, N3 contains number of first class students, second class students and third class students. I value is initialized to 0. While I less than n, that condition is evaluated. Currently I value is 0. N value is 5. I, is it less than n? Yes. That is 0 less than 5? Yes. The while condition is true. Thus, the while block is going to get executed once. We assume that the user has entered 70 as input. That is, m value becomes 70. 70, is it greater than or equal to 60? Yes. Thus, n1 variable value will be incremented by 1. Then 70 will be added to s1. I value will be incremented by 1. Now, while condition is tested. Currently, I value is 1, n value is 5. I, is it less than n? That is 1 less than 5? Yes. Thus, loop is going to get executed once more. This time, we assume that the user has entered mark as 55. Thus, m value becomes 55. M, that is 55. Is it greater than or equal to 60? No. Thus, control comes to next else if statement. M, is it greater than or equal to 50? Yes. Thus, n2 value will be incremented by 1 and then m, that is 55, will be added to s2. Thus, s2 becomes 55. I value will be incremented by 1. Again, while condition is tested. Currently, I value is 2. 2, is it less than n? That is 5? Yes. Thus, loop is going to get executed once more. This time, we assume that user has entered m value as 90. 90, is it greater than or equal to 60? Yes. Thus, n1 value will be further incremented by 1 and then m value will be added to s1. I value will be incremented by 1. Again, while condition is evaluated. Currently, I value is 3, n value is 5. I, is it less than 5? Yes. Thus, loop is going to get executed once more. This time, we assume that the user has entered student mark as 40. 40, is it greater than or equal to 60? No. Thus, control comes to next else if statement. 40, that is m, is it greater than or equal to 50? No. Thus the control comes to next else if statement. M, that is 40, is it greater than or equal to 35? Yes. Thus n3 variable value will be incremented by 1 and m, that is 40, is added to the value of s3. I value will be incremented by 1. Again, while condition is evaluated, currently I value is 4. 4 less than 5, that is n, yes. Thus, loop is going to get executed once more. This time, we assume that the user has entered student mark as 45. That is, m value as 45. 45, is it greater than or equal to 60? No. Then the control comes to next else if statement. M, that is 45, is it greater than or equal to 50? No. Thus the control comes to next else if statement. 45, is it greater than or equal to 35? Yes. Thus n3 value will be incremented by 1 and then m value will be added to s3. I value will be incremented by 1. Now again program control comes to while condition checking. Currently I value is 5, n value is 5. 5 less than 5? No. Thus the program control comes out of the while loop. Once we come out from the while loop, the variables n1, n2, n3 contains number of first classes, number of second classes and number of third classes. Whereas s1, s2, s3, they contain total marks of the first class students, second class students and third class students respectively. As we wanted average, we try to divide s1 with n1. However, first we will check whether n1 value is greater than 0 or not. Otherwise, there is a danger of divided by 0 error. Thus, I am checking if n1 value is 0, the division will not be carried out. Otherwise, the division will be taking place and then s1 value contains average marks of the first class students. Similarly, s2, s3 also contains average marks of second class and third class students. And the last printf statement will print these averages.